Here we go one more time. This is a Canon EOS 70D, which, as many people know, is a brand new model camera. It's only been out a short time. Now, here's the thing. Most of the people are reviewing this camera for one specific capability, the dual pixel focusing system, which is primarily for video. It's also for stills, but only if you're using live view, which real photography is not, usually I don't do that. So anyhow, we're now shooting with a non-STM lens. Most people are only testing it with the STM lens because, well, they're made for each other. The STM lenses are a stepper motor, and they have very smooth, just tiny incremental focusing points. So the motors are quieter, and the actual the mechanism is a little smoother. So here's the thing. What we're going to test right now is a non-STM lens, and in fact it's a prime lens, which is why I look like I'm practically on top of the camera. It's a 50mm at 1.4. Now with a 1.4 we're going to get a very shallow depth of field, which means that if I move even a little bit, the camera is going to have to refocus. Now the cool thing about the dual pixel autofocus on the newer Canon, and this is the only camera in the world that has this capability, is its ability to do a smooth transition when the subject moves in video. So with a shallow depth of field, I'm going to move, it's going to focus. Now of course I should be in focus, and that's the idea. The issue is with a non-STM lens is it has smooth the transition, and it is how about the noise? Are we hearing lens noise inside there? I would imagine we probably are hearing a lot more, because it's going to need to focus a lot more often if in fact I'm using such a shallow depth of field. And I am on purpose using a 1.4 opening. For the record, I'm at a 600 ISO and a 30th of a second, which most people go to 60 just to double it up, but I'm pushing it. I only have two little lamps on here, and it is actually, it's late at night, so this is actually just room light, and I'm moving around. Do you hear it? Did you hear it? Am I in focus still? If I move over here, does the focus seem smooth? The whole idea of this is if I move around, I don't want to have the camera trying to search for the focus. It just really is not a nice sight. So this time I should be able to move around quite a bit, and it should keep me in focus even to the extremes. And each time that I am, it should do this with, well, now this time I can actually hear the camera noise, but of course when you play this back you should hear quite a bit more, because this is a non-STM lens, and people have asked me in the comments to my previous videos to hear the sound of the STMs and the non-STMs under certain focusing conditions. And in this case I'm giving it kind of a torture test because it is a 1.4 non-STM lens. So this is a really revolutionary new focusing system, the dual pixel AF inside of the 70D. And the other thing we're testing here this time is the built-in microphone. I'm not a fan of the built-in microphone. Most of my videos are not done with the built-in microphone. But this is my first video with this camera, so let's see how it sounds. So once again, to recap, we are on a 70D, and I'm moving around with a 1.4. This is a 50mm prime lens. It's the Canon Prime, and we are seeing how well it refocuses with a very, very shallow depth of field. Let's really give it a hard time here. It choked on that one. I could see it. So it doesn't always lock, but in all fairness, I am at a 1.4, and I was less than a foot away from the lens. Something you really wouldn't do with this kind of lens. So one more time, how we lock it. Now, of course, if I just simply stay still, it shouldn't do is seek around. See? Is the camera refocusing? So the older model, if you just moved even a little bit, it would give a very, very annoying focus in and out of focus. I think that's enough torture testing for now. Signing off.